you know, in order to get your inner panels here off, you have to take these screws out. Let me see if you can see over here. Yeah, and it's the same thing to get your paneling out here. You have to take these screws out. But what I didn't realize until I took the bottom screw out is these are the same screws that hold where are they at? Yeah, that hold your little things on the outside that hold your corner protectors on. So the screw goes through the paneling, through this plastic lip here, through your side, and into these to hold them on. So it's funny because I was actually wondering the other day, because some of these were kind of loose. I was like, I wonder what I can do to tighten those up. Well, now I know. So on to the job. I'll pick it up off the ground out there afterwards. But to get the paneling off these side pieces, you just take your screw out, and keep in mind that your little clip here is going to fall on the ground out there on the outside. Then you should be able to take this off. Yep. I'm thinking this should just slide out. Yep. It's not coming easy, but there it goes. There we go. So that's how you get your paneling out. To be honest, I was expecting to see a bunch of mold behind this, but the side panels are actually in really decent shape. But we're getting new paneling anyway. We're going to replace all of it. But yeah, so that's how you get your side panels out. Make sure if you're like me and this is going to be a multi-day process and you're not sure if it's going to rain or whatnot, I'm just going to put a little piece of duct tape over the screw holes there. But also, when I was looking at parts online, I saw parts that were called extrusions. It said side extrusions, and I didn't know what that part was. But apparently these are the extrusions, and they are actually plasti welded to this panel. You can see it's just melted. And this one up here is back to plasti welds have actually come loose. So I might try to epoxy that, or you know, do something like that. But anyway, so if you're thumbing through the what's the name of that site? I keep forgetting the name of it. It's Apache Camper Trailer Parts.com. If you're thumbing through there and you see something that says extrusion, you're like, well, what's that? Well, this is the extrusion here that's attached to this. It holds this paneling in, and in addition, I believe, yeah, your living hinge also runs through that. So anyway, like I said before, there's the side paneling. I don't know if this one's going to be a chore because we need to replace that paneling as well. So I'm going to get on figuring that out. Okay guys, I hope you can hear me over our nice ice cold AC we installed in here. And when I say ice cold, I mean right here where I'm standing, it's blowing directly on me and it's freaking freezing me. It's like 80 degrees outside and a little over 80 degrees outside. I don't have a thermometer in here. I'm gonna have to get one so I can report back on that, but that thing is freaking cold. Anyway, you know, I was showing you guys how to take these side panels out. Well, I'm on the other end now, and this one does not want to come out. I've pulled it loose at the top. It will not slide, guys. And when I look, I don't want to damage my extrusion down there. But when I look down in there, you probably can't see it because there's no light in here, but there's a lot of pine needles down in there. So I don't know, probably what I'm going to end up doing, let me move the camera. I hope I don't make you guys sick moving this camera around like this. What I'm probably going to do is, it's almost like where it's leaked water, like the extrusion here that the paneling slides into has bonded to the paneling somewhat, probably from being wet. So I'm probably going to have to take a razor blade or something, and or just a what's the word I'm looking for, guys? Like a paint scraper, yeah. And go in here and try to break this loose, because this will not come out of that bottom extrusion. But we decided on what we were going with. We were going to get some wood grain paneling. Actually, you know, this thing has like a really bad smell. And originally we were just going to paint this paneling, and we were just going to replace, you know, like the pieces that were messed up. I don't know if you guys can see that, but we were going to just replace that stuff. But then after pulling a couple of these panels out and taking them in my garage, it became obvious that, you know, the cushions actually don't smell that bad. They were stored in a garage. They've not been out here in the camper for 17 years. What is holding the smell, or seems to be holding the smell, is the paneling. Because when I take that paneling in my garage, it stunk my garage up. So I'm like, we're definitely not going to paint stinky paneling. And we were just going to buy like some nice wood grain paneling, like I've seen a lot of people do. And we decided against that because I had decided that no matter what I do, there are probably going to be leaks from time to time. You know, not leaks that get you wet, but leaks that get in between the outer wall and the paneling. And so any kind of paneling I use, it's going to rot or something like that. And I was, you know, I keep mentioning them in all my videos, but it's because they're a great group of people. The Facebook page, it's the Apache Camper Preservation Society on Facebook. What some people are recommending is they've got that corrugated plastic, you know, people call it plastic cardboard. But you know, you see like litter carrier boxes, like, okay, I was in the Army, and like they used to bring our mail in these little boxes from the post office that were made out of the stuff. I can't remember what it's called, but people make signs out of them, things like that. So people were suggesting using that, and that's actually a really good idea. But then someone else made the comment, and I should have thought of it because I do pest control is my primary job. You know, bugs can get in those little channels in it and start nesting. So didn't like that idea. Now here's the funny thing. Everybody says this is quarter-inch thick paneling. It's actually not. It's slightly less than a quarter-inch thick. So anyway, I was trying to find a material that would be easy to clean, number one. Number two, that would be durable, and number three, that I would not have to worry about rotting if some water got behind it, or, you know, mold setting up on it. And so this is the idea we came up with. Oh, we got Eli out here. I'm trying to make a video. We came up with this.
Fuck your video.
Hey, look everybody, it's John.
What's happening?
So we came up with this idea. Instead of paneling, we decided to use FRP.
Sorry.
It's fiberglass reinforced plastic. And if you guys recognize this, it's because you have seen it on the wall in pretty much every public bathroom and every restaurant kitchen that you've ever seen. That's the material they use.
And on the side of my camper where I had to repair mine.
Yeah. So how you like my air conditioning?
I like that. That's why I came over here.
Yeah, it's working good. I just turned it on about 30 minutes ago.
Nice.
And is it not cold in here?
It's very comfortable in here.
Okay, and it's like 80 degrees outside, guys. Yeah, it's nice in here right now. I'm loving that air conditioner. But anyway, so this is what we decided to go with. The only problem with this stuff is, number one, it's got a lot of flex to it. So I'm kind of wondering how it's going to do up here in the ceiling. And number two, it's a little on the expensive side at $32 for a 4x8 sheet. The problem is I can get two end walls out of one sheet, but I can only get one roof panel out of a sheet. And that back there, if I want to piece it together the way they have it, then, you know, I might be able to get the pieces out of the sheets I cut these out of. But if I want to make it one piece, then again, that's another sheet. So we're looking at about a total of 6 sheets to do everything, excluding the main ceiling, which we're not doing this summer because that's going to require a lot of extra work. So 6 sheets, I mean, we're looking at around $200, guys, to redo all this paneling. But you know what? That's only about $40 more than it would have cost to redo it with wood paneling, and we will never have to worry about this stuff rotting or anything like that. It's real easy to clean up if something gets splashed on it, you know. So that's why we decided to use it. So this is the sheet of FRP that we're using to make our new paneling in the camper. It's pretty durable. It's actually flipped upside down right now. And yes, this is in my living room floor. It's a long story. But anyway, this is what I've been using to cut it with. These are sheet metal shears. Or sheet metal clips, whatever you want to call them. And I'm just letting you know right now, it is not easy to cut this stuff. But a lot of people recommend using the power shears, but you know, that tool is about $80 and I don't have one. Ironically enough, my whole family's in the sheet metal union, so I'm sure one of my uncles probably has one that I could borrow. It's just, you know, I've not asked really. But anyway, so this is what we're using, and you can see where I've already cut that one side panel out that I just finished showing you. So $32 a sheet at Lowe's. So we got our FRP laying out here in the yard, and you can see where I've traced off another panel on it. Also, don't forget, you've got your screw holes that you want to also mark. But anyway, I was just talking about how I had used these to cut the first panel out, a pair of tin snips. Not really ideal. It took forever. It was very frustrating, and I chipped a couple pieces out of it. Now the best tool for this job is, according to what I've seen, is actually a pair of the electric tin snips, but I don't have those. And the main reason I was using tin snips was because I was doing this in my living room floor because it was after dark. Well, I've got a little bit of daylight here, so I decided to drag this out in the yard. Normally I'd want to put this on some sawhorses, but I don't own any sawhorses at the moment. So I have, or at least I think I have figured out a little bit easier way to cut this stuff though. So this is what we're going to try. We're just going to try a cutoff wheel. Hopefully this will go a little more easily. So put on our safety glasses, safety first, and let's try this out. Cutoff tool works way easier. Glad I decided to try that. The only thing I want to warn you guys about if you use that cutoff tool is I actually did it twice. If you sink it in too deep, it kicks the material up, and I thought it had broken, it had cracked it, but it didn't. It seems to be fine. Also, you want to move fairly quickly with it, because if you sit in one spot too long, it kind of burns, leaves a black burn. Of course, that'll all be behind trim, so you won't be able to see that anyway, but just a little warning there. Anyway, yeah, cutoff wheel works great. Well, guys, I had to chase the wife out of the camper. She's turned into a kilts junkie. Yeah, she's in here. She's just been kiltsing away on the ceiling and stuff, and she's high as a kite, I can tell. So we had to get her out of here before she turns into a junkie on me. Next thing you know, I'll be finding her in the bathroom with a gallon of kilts, painting cabinets just so she can get high. But anyway, so we got our new panel cut. We found the easier way to cut, and so this ought to go a lot faster on the rest of this install. Anyway, pretty straightforward. Just slide it into your lower extrusion here with a little channel it fits in. You're going to go so far before it really engages in the top, so just keep following your lower channel, and hope you can see me, but when it gets about that far, that's when you got to start worrying about your top channel up here. But you just keep sliding. Slides right in. And then when you get to the back here, you know, you might have to pull out a little to clear that lip and get it in the front channel. But boom. There's that part. Then you take your I'm not sure what this is called, but you slide it behind the paneling, and the paneling goes inside of it there. And then you've got your two screws that go through the wall and go into, I don't know where that's at. Your little clips that hold the corners on. You know where that is, beautiful?
They're in that drawer.
They're in what drawer?
That one.
This one?
Yep.
Wasting video. Okay. This is the clips I'm talking about. The clips that go on the outside. Well, you know, the screws are going to go through our screw holes here and here. And you're going to have somebody hold the clips on the outside while you screw them through. But then after that, you've got your new FRP panels in. Working on the end panels now. As you can see, well, you may not be able to see because of the lighting, but we got a lot of damage down here at the bottom, a lot of water damage. So I was just going to leave those in for right now because I didn't want to fool with this window, but the wifey says they got to go. So, you know, happy wife, happy life, and all that bullshit. So anyhow, in order to get these panels out, you've got to get these little slide dillies here out. The little clips that hold them in, top and bottom on both sides. I believe the end panels here that they slide into here, these are actually part of the side there. I can't get it out. It seems to me like it's part of it. So the only way to get these 4 panels out is to take this trim out from around the window, and you can see you've got these screws holding it in. So I'm just going to take all these screws out and take these pieces of trim off. I know the aluminum looks like it's actually part of the window, but it's not. It is trim on the inside, and it's helping to both seal the window and to hold all these panels in. So I'm going to get those taken off, and I'll be right back. Here's where I'm going to try to help some people out. Alright, these panels, let me make sure you can see me. Yeah. The panels that go here and that go top and bottom were just completely rotten. I'm going to be careful here. I don't know if you guys can see this. I mean, there was just mildew and mold. Like, honestly, I ought to be wearing gloves. But, yeah, they're in pretty rough shape, guys. And, actually, this is the panel that was on the bottom. It was so rotten, I had to use a paint scraper to try to separate it. It had bonded with the little plastic channel, so I had to use a paint scraper to try to separate it from the channel, and unfortunately it came out in pieces. The good news is the top was in good shape and it came off in one piece, and the top and bottom panels are the same size. So I'm gonna be able to trace this panel out for the top and bottom. This panel here, while it is falling apart, I think it is still traceable. But what I want to do for you guys, just in case either your panels are all rotten and you can't get them out in one piece, or in case yours didn't come with paneling, like if you've got the older models that didn't have any paneling and you're trying to put paneling in them, I'm going to go ahead and measure these pieces for you and let you know what size they are. So the pieces that go on each side right here, which is this one, They are 35.
I got the music playing.
35 and a quarter. 35 and a quarter inches long, and they are 12 and 3/4 inches wide. Okay, so that's the pieces that go here. Now the pieces that go on the top and the bottom, and I keep looking at the camera because it's about to go dead on me, but the pieces that go on the top and the bottom are 47 inches long exactly, and looks like 6 7/8 inch wide. So there's your measurement for those pieces, in case yours are in even worse shape still than mine, and or you're putting paneling in a Apache that did not come with paneling originally. That way you know the sizes. The cool tidbit, it's gonna save a little money. Actually, like, okay, so I got 2 side panels out. This is 1 sheet of FRP. I got 2 side panels, and I'm going to be able to get 1 top and 1 side for the end panel out of each one. So that means 2 sheets will give me the side panels for both bed ends, and give me all of the give me a top, a bottom, and both sides for 1 end. Now, I know I'm going to need a whole sheet of FRP to cut the bed roof out. So that's going to be a whole sheet just for that. But I'm wondering if I'm going to have enough material left out after I cut that to cut the other, you know, to cut 2 more of these, and then for the other side to cut 2 more of these. Because if that's the case, that means we're going to be able to do, you know, both sleeping areas, top to bottom and end and sides, with a total of only 4 sheets of FRP. So that's about $100 and what, babe? About $140 after tax.
I think so.
Yeah, she just got on camera. Haha, tricked her. But yeah, so that's not bad, guys. You know, if you used wood paneling, it might save you $20–30 tops, and you know, you get a leak and you're going to be doing this again. With this, if we get a leak, it's not going to hurt this stuff. I mean, this stuff is meant to have water and stuff thrown at it. So awesome.